Part 1. The Nature of Crime, Law and Criminal Justice. Chapter 2. The Nature and Extent of Crime. On May 31, 2003, Eric Rudolph was arrested behind a grocery store in rural western North Carolina after 5 years on the run. He was accused of detonating a bomb outside a Birmingham, Alabama abortion clinic on January 29, 1998, killing a police officer and critically injuring a nurse. He was also charged with setting off a bomb that killed one person and injured 150 others in a park in downtown Atlanta, Georgia, during the 1996 Olympics. There is also evidence that Rudolph was involved in the 1997 bombings of a gay nightclub and a building that housed an abortion clinic. Rudolph came under suspicion when someone saw a man believed to be Rudolph leaving the scene of the Birmingham bombing. A truck registered to Rudolph was spotted moments later. In the days following the bombing, law enforcement agents searched a storage locker rented by Rudolph and found nails like those in the devices used to bomb the clinic and an Atlanta building that housed an abortion clinic. Similarities also linked the nails to the bomb set off during the Olympics. Rudolph's crime spree was motivated by his extreme political beliefs. He was a member of a white supremacist group called the Army of God. His relatives told authorities that Rudolph was an ardent anti-Semite who claimed that the Holocaust never happened and that the Jews control the media and the government. Ironically, soon after he was arrested, the court-appointed attorney Richard S. Jaffe, a practicing Jew, to lead Rudolph's defense team. On April 8, 2005, Rudolph agreed to plead guilty to all the attacks he was accused of committing to avoid the death penalty. He was sentenced to 4 consecutive life terms. The Rudolph case illustrates the undercurrent of violence that is still all too common on the American landscape. But although the Rudolph case is a shocking reminder of the damage that a single person can inflict on the public, the overall crime rate seems to be in decline. And although the United States has the reputation of being an extremely violent nation, violence rates here are dropping while they are increasing abroad. This chapter reviews major crime problems facing the justice system. It also discusses how crime is measured and what we know about criminal conduct. What causes the rise and fall in crime rates? Who commits crime, and what are the crime patterns that the criminal justice system must confront on a daily basis? Crime in the United States. Crimes such as the ones committed by Eric Rudolph have become an all too familiar and disturbing aspect of life in the United States. Both the poor and the affluent engage in criminal activity. Crime cuts across racial, class and gender lines. It involves some acts that shock the conscience, such as Rudolph's violent spree, but others may seem to be relatively harmless human foibles. Some involve strangers, so-called predatory criminals who care little for the lives of their victims, whereas others, including date rape and spouse, child, elderly and sexual abuse, involve family members, friends or trusted associates. Such acts are referred to as intimate violence. In Chapter 1, we discuss terrorism and cybercrime, 2 newly emerging crimes that challenge the justice system. Although these new crimes represent critical issues, the criminal justice system must still confront traditional criminal conduct involving violence, theft, and breaches of the public order. What are some of the most significant of these crimes that concern most Americans? Violent crime. Americans are bombarded with television news stories and newspaper articles featuring grisly accounts of violent gangs, serial murder, child abuse, and rape. Although rates of violent crime have declined significantly, violence rates in the United States still exceed those of most other industrialized nations. What are the forms of violence that most people fear?